よっそれ孤児の炎よし出発だねみんながそばにいて熱演一体を精進せよ風を知れはっ風の歌雲の下りよっ炎の盾はっ暁をここにはっよっせ全力攻撃
What's up, goats, and welcome! Before anything else, I'd like to share with you, goats, that I also play most nights on Twitch, and you can follow me on my socials for more updates. You can find it on my About page here in my channel. This is Godric, and again, welcome to another installment of our best F2P Weapons series. And this time, yes, we're gonna talk about Claymores and Polearms. First is the prototype Arcake, another weapon that would boost your early game. The Arcake was once called the Aminus or something. Anyway, its passive is pretty nice, pretty high scaling, especially at R5, but even at R180, this weapon can carry you throughout the game. It can be utilized best by Razor, Chongyun, Beidou, Xinyan, Eula, or even Diluc. Next is the White Blind. You could say that this is the defense counterpart of the Arcake. The White Blind packs a lot of defense substat. Unfortunately and fortunately, this weapon cannot be utilized by many characters, but arguably one of the best for both Noel and Ito, who are defense scaling characters. Snow-Tombed Star Silver. This weapon can be received for free from one of the quests in Dragonspine. Although it's not universally useful, its effect is pretty niche. It can be fairly useful for physical DPS and or superconduct teams. Of course, it's good for Razor, Eula, or even Xinyan. You may think of using it on Chongyun, but proccing its effect needs an on-field DPS, and Chongyun is best utilized as burst DPS/support. Next, we have the Katsura Gikiri Nagamasa. Now, this weapon is okay, I guess. Fair base attack with ER substat. Its passive also tells us that it's mainly useful for utility/burst support. Overall, I want to say that this is a good weapon for some characters, but I'll say that in terms of the free weapons, you get more juice from the Arcake. But if you're bored and you want to spend your belay, you got nothing to spend it on, this can be used on Sayu. Another event weapon is the Luxurious Sea Lord. This weapon is such a joy to have. I mean, it's such a meme material. What more can you ask for if you have this big fish that you can slap around monsters, right? So, the Luxurious Sea Lord has an attack percent substat and burst damage bonus for its passive. So that there tells you that it's a good weapon for DPS characters, more so for burst DPS characters. You have Diluc, Beidou, Chongyun, Eula, or even Xinyan. So let's go to the polearms. First is the prototype Star Glitter. The Star Glitter was one of my first weapons before as an F2P. So the ER substat is pretty helpful and the passive is easy enough to proc. So you just do a skill and your auto attack damage is increased. It may also be used for its ER substat, and that would depend on how you use your characters in your party. This weapon can be used with almost all polearm characters except Hu Tao and Zhao if you have no other option. It's also worth noting that there's an overall better F2P alternative, which we'll go to later. Now we have the Crescent Pike. This weapon in particular is one that doesn't really appeal to me because of its passive. So for you to get the attack damage bonus, you need to get orbs first. Well, maybe that's not really a problem, but I just don't like, personally, these conditions that are added on top of your party, their skills. But like I said, it's a personal preference, and it's fairly useful for physical DPS characters early game, such as Rosaria, Xiangling, and Zhongli. But as you progress, other weapons and rules for them would suit them better, so this weapon overall can be treated as something that's temporary. And then we have the Kitain Cross Spear paired with an EM substat. It has the same effect as the Nagamasa, and of course, renders it to be more suited for utility/burst supports. Of course, you have Xiangling, Rosaria, or even Yunjin solely for the passive if you have ER issues with her. And then we have the Dragon Spine Spear, another snow dropping weapon similar to the Snow Tomed Claymore. The Dragon Spine Spear has a physical damage substat, so yeah, you know what I'm gonna say. This is typically used on Rosaria, but you have other better options. Aside from her, you can also use it temporarily on your physical polearm characters for early game, as mentioned like Xiangling and Zhongli. And of course, finally, the catch. The weapon that will test your patience, but to be fair, after all the hard work in fishing, this weapon is one of the best options. I'd like to point out that this is not an event-exclusive weapon, so new players still have access to it. Decent ER substat, burst damage bonus, and an additional crit rate, so you're surely gonna crit your burst. I mean, of course, if you build your artifacts right. For some characters we mentioned earlier, this is the best option if you're looking at burst damage. So we have Xiangling, Rosaria, Zhongli, Yunjin, and of course, Raiden Shogun. So those are all the free claymores that we can easily get for free. Please sound off in the comments which one you use yourself. Because me, I just love using the Sea Lord. I mean, just look at that. Anyway, now the winner from our last video's giveaway is gonna be posted here. Please send me a message on my socials, posted in the about page of my channel again. And yeah, congratulations. With that, thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you like and share the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one.
かかれだね
燃えろしっはっふっよし
捕まえたどの目が出る
前はっみんながそばにいてくれるわ
かと
熱演一体を精進せよ